Hey everyone, this is Anne from the Let's Get Naked podcast with another mini-sode on human connection. Today I'm going to be describing something that I call the focus effect. I'm here with Casey, and so I'm going to do my little rant and then we'll chat about it. If you've ever seen the movie Focus with Will Smith, you know the game, distraction. He explains how a pickpocket can touch your shoulder or brush your waist, get your eyes looking the other way while your pocket gets emptied the other way. That's the hustle. And after watching that movie a few times, I started calling moments like that in everyday life the focus effect. Anytime distraction tricks you while something gets taken. I just recently realized that's exactly what's happening in America right now, only on a massive scale. We're so damn distracted by politics, by religion, by race, by pointing fingers, that we don't even notice our humanity being stolen. Everyone's screaming about who's to blame, who's right, who's wrong, while the real issues are walking right out the door. We've let ourselves get played. Let's not sugarcoat it. Race is one of the biggest distraction tools being used against us. Racism is real, it's systemic, and it's ugly. But instead of rolling up our sleeves to fix it, we keep getting baited into fighting each other harder. It's the classic shoulder tap. The outrage machine keeps us triggered, divided, and spinning in circles while the deep repair work this country desperately needs keeps getting pushed off. Until we all take accountability, every single one of us, we're stuck in the trap. For politics, same story. We let politics become sport, red versus blue, left versus right, like it's some never-ending Super Bowl. Meanwhile, while we're screaming at each other on social media about who's destroying America, nobody's noticing that the real destruction is happening in the background. Corruption, greed, and basic human decency being robbed from all of us. The focus effect at its finest. Keep the people divided so the pockets stay full. Religion, the oldest shoulder tap in the book. What God you pray to, what church you sit in, whether you kneel, stand, chant, or meditate, it's all been weaponized to divide us. But here's the truth. Nobody's God is asking for this level of hate. Nobody's faith system says point fingers and dehumanize. That's human ego twisting something sacred into another distraction. And while we argue about whose God is real, the real pocket being picked is our shared humanity. Here's the savage truth. It doesn't matter what color your skin is, what side of the aisle you're on, or what God you call yours. Accountability isn't theirs, it's ours, every single one of us. The focus effect isn't what's keeping us distracted. The focus effect is what's keeping us distracted, divided, and disconnected. And while we're busy pointing fingers, the answer is sitting right in front of us. Human connection, eye contact, conversation, choosing to see the human across from you before the label. Because the only way we turn this ship around isn't louder hate, it's deeper connection. Stop letting your pocket get picked. Wake up, connect. That's how we win. So I was talking with, I know it's a big one.
That was
a fucking big one. I was talking with Cameron and Tony and Brittany when we were driving over to San Diego this past weekend. And I felt like, I wish we would have had video cameras in the car because we were just having this conversation that felt so big to me. The focus effect is something that I made up years ago after seeing that movie several times because I just found it fascinating. Mm-hmm. It's like, Will Smith and I think Margot Robbie was the other lead opposite him. And he's teaching her how to pickpocket. And so he's touching her on her waist, but then picking the wallet out of her jacket, and he's explaining like you touch someone here so that their attention goes there, then they don't even feel when you're taking the real thing from them. And so as I've gone through life, like I've noticed the focus effect on smaller scales where I'm like, that's exactly what's happening. When people are doing that, when it's, religion or race or politics, like whatever it is, that's what they're doing in those systems. But also it can just be an everyday where someone is trying to manipulate something where they're taking, they're touching you here. Usually it's with fear, touching you here so that we can take something from you here. So we're talking about what is the answer? What is the answer in our American society of what's happening, right? Because there's so much fucking hate. There's so much hate that goes around and it doesn't matter. We're talking about perspective and, this whole 69 project that I'm looking at, which is just like, it's a 6 and a 9, everyone. Like, open your fucking eyes. It's a 6 and a 9. If you're looking at something and I'm like, no, I swear to God, it's a 6 from over here. And you're like, yeah, but it's a 9 over here. If I came and stood next to you, it is a 9. If you came and stood next to me, it is a 6, how beautiful that is. So when I'm talking to Cameron and he's saying, they have this whole thing that's happening. Whoever they is, doesn't fucking matter. Whoever started this, whoever benefits from us hating each other. Everyone's pointing their finger at somebody else, right? And here's the great news, everyone. You're all right. From your unique perspective, you're all fucking right. But what good does any of that do? Because our humanity is literally being drained out the bottom. It's the focus effect. It's the focus effect on the fucking biggest scale that I can even get my head around. We are literally pitting one another against each other. We're not saying we're shared mothers who are scared about sending our fucking kids to school because of the mass shootings. We're not saying we have these things in common that make us a shared humanity where it's like we shouldn't be telling somebody else who can be married or who can't be married or who gets to do this or who gets to do that. Who fucking cares, right? Do we not understand that literally our human connection, our shared humanity is being robbed of us while the focus effect is happening, while somebody pits us against each other, while we celebrate our differences. We're not celebrating our differences. We're like, we're using those as ammunition against each other, right? It's like, why are we fucking doing this? Wake up, people, wake up. How do we do that? How do we fix that? Well, it's not going to fix overnight, but let's start small. Let's maybe make eye contact with someone. Hold the door for someone else. Fucking while you're standing waiting at an elevator, maybe strike up a conversation with the old man that's there waiting instead of fucking looking somewhere else or burying yourself in your phone. There's nothing good in your phone. Fucking put it down. Stop it. Like, we are literally doing this to ourselves. Focus effect on a fucking big scale. That's what I believe is happening.
That's huge, Anne.
Right?
Huge.
It is.
I can completely visualize that.
Can't you?
Spot on.
It is. And it's like, it doesn't matter, right?
We're
like if you're sitting here
down.
and telling me like, this is what this is and this is what this is. Okay, you're right. And someone else is mad. This is what this is and this is what that. Okay, you're right. This is what this is. This is what. Okay. Yeah. You're all right. You're all right. And it doesn't fucking matter. What good does that do? Everyone thinks that that's what they're fighting for. Would that fix it? Like, whatever your cause is, if you were standing up there and you were saying, I'm right, look at this, right? Whether you're Republican or Democrat or, white, black, whatever the fucking thing is that it is, I'm right. What would happen if the other person said, oh my God, you're right? Is that going to change anything for you? No, you're still going to be full of fucking piss and vinegar. They are literally fucking robbing us of our human connection. If you think about what that feels like when you do something nice for another human being, that feels like a fucking jolt of Skittles, right? Of energy, just like, that's excellent. That's what that feels like. We don't do that anymore. We just point fingers and fucking push the accountability to someone else. So let's get curious about that. Let's bring that into our own homes and say, what can we do about it? Because I can't do anything with it outside of my own home. Here's what I can contribute to right now that is tangible. How am I going to make a connection in my own fucking home? Whether that be with someone that lives in my own home, a deep connection instead of just letting them go to their rooms and get on their phones and have no connection there, because we all know that that's a problem, right? Or with just out in public, with my people. With the grocery store clerk, with the fucking old lady in the fucking grocery, aisle that needs help reaching something. Look around at that. Think about how good that feels and how that makes a difference. Let's all do more of that and take accountability for getting so far away from that. And realize the focus effect is happening, people. Fucking wake up. That's all I'm going to say about that.